So those are my rules for the next 75 days, and this is day one. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie and I'm documenting my journey to lose 100 pounds. In today's video, I am going to be documenting my first day of the 75 soft. And just in case you don't know what the 75 soft is, the 75 soft is actually a softer version of the mental toughness challenge called the 75 hard. The 75 hard was created by Andy Frisella in 2019, and it is incredibly difficult. It has several rules that you have to follow every single day. The first of which being you have to work out twice a day for 45 minutes, both workouts, and one of them has to be outside no matter what the weather is like. You also have to drink a gallon of water. You have to take a progress photo every day, and you have to read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. And the last rule is that you have to pick a diet and follow it for those 75 days. I don't think that my body is ready to do a 45-minute workout once a day, let alone twice a day. So I've decided to do the 75 soft instead. And with the 75 soft, you kind of get to make up your own rules. For my 75 soft, what I've chosen to do, every day I will eat 1,700 calories, hit 100 grams of protein, drink 3 liters of water. I'm going to read 10 pages of a book. I'm not going to say it has to be nonfiction, but more than likely that's what I'm going to pick anyway. I'm also going to do a stretching and yoga routine. At night, I'm going to try to get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. So what I'm going to do in order to do that is I'm going to leave my phone charging out in my living room instead of in my bedroom. I talked about this before, but every night when I go to sleep, I typically go to bed with enough time to get 8 hours of sleep, but then I lay in bed and scroll on my phone or play games or whatever for hours, and then I end up not getting enough sleep. So I'm going to eliminate that by leaving the phone out here in my living room and going to sleep without it. I chose these rules because I have a really hard time drinking my water. I get dehydrated really easily. I've actually been in the hospital a couple of times because I've been so dehydrated. I don't know what my problem is, but I just do not drink enough fluids throughout the day. So having a goal of drinking 3 liters, I think is going to be really good. It's a lot more than I usually drink, so I think it's going to make me feel a lot better. And I'm sure it will help my weight loss quite a bit as well. I'm also going to try to weigh myself every day, but again, I'm really bad at remembering to do that. So it's not one of my official rules either, but I'm going to try to do that every day. The reason I've chosen 1,700 calories is because I really feel very comfortable within that calorie goal. I don't feel hungry very much, and I can hit that every day without much issue. I don't really want to go lower than that. So if I can lose weight at this level of activity at those calories, then as I go where I would usually have to drop my calories, I'm just going to raise up my activity level so that I can stay at the 1,700 calories and continue to lose weight. So those are my rules for the next 75 days, and this is day one. The first thing I need to do is make my protein iced coffee. I use instant coffee, and usually it's just the Aldi one, but they were out, so today I'm being fancy and using Folgers. I add 3 grams of the instant coffee to my cup. About halfway through this, I realize the cup is too small, so I switch it to a bigger one. I know that I have a problem, but the coffee is still not sweet enough for me when I add a protein shake, so I add a little stevia to it as well. And by a little, I mean about 7 grams.
Give me sugar. In water.
I hope I make my British watchers proud. I grew up using a tea kettle on the stove, but I recently upgraded to this Mueller electric kettle, and it's awesome. I use it for everything, and I love it. I'll link it below in case you want to check it out. I decided to start putting a protein shake in my coffee to help me hit my protein goal every day. I usually use Premier protein shakes, but today we have Fairlife instead. I've never used this one in my coffee before, so hopefully I like it. But I'm sure I will. These protein shakes literally taste like chocolate milk. So now I'm going to add my ice and stir this up. I love these Yeti tumblers. Chris's mom bought this one for us for Christmas, I think, one year, and I use it almost every single day. I think what I'm gonna do first today is my stretching routine, so let's go do that. I used AI to make this stretch routine a while ago to help with my anterior pelvic tilt. It's what makes my back hurt when I stand for long periods of time. I start with 10 cat-cows, and then I do child's pose for 1 minute. I feel like you're supposed to be able to lower your butt more than I can, so I'll be interested to see how this changes over time. I think part of it is literally just the size of my legs. They take up some of the room that I need to get lower. Then I do deep lunges twice on either side for 30 seconds each. These hurt quite a bit right now, but I know that they help to stretch and loosen up my hip flexors really well. When you sit as much as I have, your muscles in your hips actually get shorter, and because of that, they make your back hurt when you stand or lay flat. When I started this routine originally, I couldn't lay flat on my back at all. I had to put a pillow under my knees so that my back wouldn't start to hurt. After a few months of doing the stretches, I was able to lay flat long enough to actually sleep on my back. It's still better than it was originally, but I can tell it's gotten worse than it was before, so I'm doing these again. Next, I'm doing a stretch for my quads, and when I used to do these, I didn't need this strap, but now I can't reach my ankle anymore, so I'm using this strap until I can again. I'm doing this stretch twice on each side for 30 seconds each time. And after those, I am doing a hamstring stretch twice on each side for 30 seconds each time again. I really think being flexible and able to move is extremely important, and I am just about as inflexible as you can get. So that's it for the stretching routine I made up, and then next I'm going to do a yoga with Adriene video that is for my neck and shoulders. I carry a lot of tension in that area, so much so that I get really bad tension headaches that are pretty debilitating. This video works so well that it can actually make the headache go away, where most of the time Tylenol or ibuprofen don't really do much for them at all. I'll link it down below because it really helps, and if you have this issue too, you should try it. I promise you'll feel better. That was really rough. I just wanted to take a second and talk a little bit about how I feel right now, because I want to do a comparison at the end of this and see what it feels like at the end of my stretching, because right now I am winded. That hurt a lot. Threading the needle was probably the worst of it, but in the beginning when I was doing my stretching before the yoga, I did the, I think it's like warrior pose almost, but it's like a deep lunge where I'm stretching my hip flexors. That was pretty painful, especially on the left side for some reason. The right side wasn't as bad. It sucked pretty bad no matter what I was doing. I am sweaty, like I worked out really hard, and as you could see, I wasn't really doing a whole lot. Well, I guess I can't say that. I was doing stuff, but I wasn't like working out really hard or anything. I can't breathe. Yeah, that wasn't as fun as I was hoping it would be, but that's okay. It's just, that's what it is right now. I think I'm going to take a little break and do some work now. I have some listings that I need to get up for my eBay store. So I'm going to take a little break and do that. I will be back in a little bit. So Chris and I started this eBay business back in 2018. We both ended up quitting our regular jobs, and we've been doing this full time ever since. Here, I'm just getting a listing ready to launch. On a typical weekday, I will create 14 listings so that we can list 10 items a day without having to make any listings over the weekend. I also took pictures of 7 items, but I didn't get any footage of that because my office is an actual disaster and I am just not ready to show that much to the internet yet. I'll link our eBay store down below so you can check it out if you want. No pressure, but if you see something you like, send us an offer and say that you are a Katie Maxine subscriber and we will give you a better deal on it. Next, I'm going to make my breakfast. I typically eat breakfast around noon. I find that the later I start eating food, the less I eat throughout the day. If I have a smaller window to eat, then it seems like I get to eat more often and I don't get many opportunities to feel hungry. It's not technically intermittent fasting though, because I drink my coffee with a protein shake in it. And with intermittent fasting, you're not supposed to eat or drink any calories except for in your eating window. But that isn't what I'm trying to do anyway, so it's okay. I did 1 egg with about 125 grams of egg whites. I forgot to salt and pepper my eggs while they were in the pan, so I did that afterwards. And then with that, I have a piece of toast made from the Aunt Millie's brand 40-calorie potato bread that I love. And I put 5 grams of I Can't Believe It's Not Butter Light on my toast. And so here it is. This is my breakfast for today. I am having my iced coffee that you saw me make a little bit ago. I'm having my eggs and toast and a peach yogurt from Walmart because it's the only one that I can find that only has 80 calories in it. The other ones are way better tasting, but that's because they have a lot more sugar in them. This one, it's 80 calories, there's 0 fat, there is 8 carbs and 12 grams of protein. So the other ones have more sugar and they have less protein, so we like to get this one instead. But I'm gonna go eat this and I'll be back in just a sec. So obviously to prepare for this, I've been watching a bunch of other people do the 75 soft on YouTube, and a lot of the girls that I've seen have done this thing with Post-it notes on a wall or something that they're gonna see a lot, where they put all 75 of them on the wall so that they can pull one off every day when they finish it. So I'm gonna do that because of course I can't help myself. I love stuff like this. So I got these Post-it notes. They're like kind of like pastel colors or something. They're 100% recycled, so that's nice. And I'm just gonna start putting them up. I did it. That was a lot of writing and my legs hurt now, but I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. So there's my numbers. That's my countdown. It looks really big and scary, so hopefully it doesn't freak me out as bad as I think it's going to. Hopefully this helps motivate me and not scare me. It's freaking me out right now, but it's okay. I think it's pretty cool. So I've got my numbers to count down the days, and I've got my week counters, and of course I had to label it with the 75 soft on the top. And that's it. So I'm gonna move on to my next thing. I just made my first water. I had my coffee this morning, which was about 30 ounces, and then each one of these is about 30 ounces as well. So I'm thinking I'm gonna drink 2 of these with the coffee, and then at the end of the night, sometimes I like to drink something warm before I go to sleep. So I might do some broth at the end of the night. I have a bouillon that I like to drink. It tastes really good and it's nice and salty. Okay, I am making cucumber rolled spicy crab sushi. Hopefully, we're gonna try. So first I have to chop up my crab, and I just want to cut it into small pieces. It's the leg version because they have the flake or leg version, and so I got the leg one. I thought it would be easier to chop, and I'm using this really noisy plastic glove because I don't want to smell like fish for the rest of the day. Sorry about it. This is a recipe that I'm making up by like combining 2 different ones. So hopefully it's not gross. I think it's gonna be really good though. I'm gonna get a little bowl. All right, so to my chopped up crab, I'm going to add 60 grams of Kewpie mayonnaise. And I'm gonna add 2 grams of lime juice and a tablespoon of sriracha. So that's gonna be 18 grams of sriracha. I'm using my favorite sriracha. It's Sky Valley. It's the best one. It's like smoky. And then I'm going to add in about 1 gram of sesame oil. Now I'm gonna mix all of this together. And this is gonna be the filling for inside of my sushi. I'm just gonna roll my sushi mat in some plastic wrap so that it keeps it from getting crab all over it. So now I am going to slice thin slices of the cucumber off of here. I'm gonna get rid of this top one though. I think my refrigerator is a little cold and these cucumbers got a little bit too cold, but we're gonna do our best with what we've got here. So now I'm going to take my sushi mat and I'm going to lay my cucumber out, trying to find ones that haven't split. Try to overlap them a little bit. So once you have your cucumber all laid out, you want to try to dry it as much as you can. Okay, now we're going to spread out some cream cheese on top of this. And the cream cheese is going to kind of help hold it together a little bit, hopefully. Now I'm going to add in half of this sushi, this crab salad. It's supposed to be half of this, but I don't think I'm gonna do half of this. This is a lot. And then I'm gonna take some avocado and I'm gonna make little tiny slices. And try not to cut my hand through the avocado skin, jeez. I'm supposed to do 30 grams of avocado in this. All right, that's 29. And a little bit of rice. So like 35 grams of rice. So now I have to try to roll this. I've never rolled sushi before. Oh, you're kidding me. I did it the wrong way. I don't know if I can fix this. Huh? I put it on the wrong way. Like, instead of this way, it should be this way. I can't roll it. I'm supposed to roll it like this. Yeah, it's supposed to be the other direction. Okay, so now I'm going to try to roll it. I think it kind of worked. I have no idea how they transfer sushi from the roll to the plate. Not like that, probably. So this is unagi sauce. This is like the sauce that they put on top of your sushi. And I'm gonna do 20 grams of this. So here is my horribly deformed sushi, but we're gonna go try it and see how it goes. This piece is probably the best one. This is really good, like really, really good. It's really spicy, a little bit too spicy for me, but I'm gonna eat it anyway. The crab salad's supposed to make only for 2 days. That's not gonna be possible. That's gonna have to be for 3 days. But I'm gonna go eat this and I'll be back in a little bit. So now I'm going to meal prep our dinner. I am making a recipe I got off of the meal prep manual from Josh Cordes. This is the crispy chili beef noodles or something like that. They look really good. It's some Asian dish. So I did a little bit of prep work already. I have chopped up my vegetables and I am preheating my pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it. I'm about to throw my meat in here. Usually I would do ground turkey, but Chris really wanted me to do ground beef, so we're doing ground beef. Try not to get myself. This thing is splashing. I probably wouldn't even normally use olive oil with ground beef, but I'm doing 93.7, so it's like pretty lean. And the recipe calls for it, so I'm following the recipe. All right, so I'm gonna let this cook for a few minutes to try to brown it up a little bit. In the meantime, I'm gonna cook my noodles. So these are just pad thai rice noodles. I guess I can show them a little closer. They are gluten-free, so if you need gluten-free, that's good. So a full 8-ounce package of these, and I have boiled water, and I'm just going to pour the boiling water over the top of the noodles and let it sit on the stove in this bowl. And it's gonna soften up the noodles while I do everything else. I'm gonna pour the boiling water into the bowl, and then I'm gonna stir it around a little bit to get these noodles under the water. To the beef, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of white pepper, and we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of paprika. I'm using smoked paprika because I use this for everything. If it calls for paprika, it's getting smoked paprika. And then I'm also gonna do a teaspoon of salt, maybe a little bit more since it's 2 pounds. And now we're gonna mix the beef up and start breaking it up a little bit. If you're gonna make this recipe, make sure you have a big pan. I'm using this big KitchenAid again that I have, and we're gonna eventually put all the vegetables and the noodles in here and then mix the sauce together, so you really need a big one. Or you're gonna have to like transfer it to a big bowl or something and do it there. You really want to break the meat up into small pieces. Josh says that it mixes up better with everything and incorporates into the dish better. So I'm really trying to chop this up as it cooks. All right, my beef is pretty cooked now. I am going to transfer the meat to this plate. I'm gonna turn this off for now. I'm gonna try to leave the oil and juice in this pan so that I can use it to cook the vegetables instead of adding more oil. My arm is so tired. I am having a hard time holding this spatula up. This is really sad. But I'm glad I'm documenting all of this though, because I want to be able to look back when things start to get better and see how far I've come. I didn't do that very well before, and so I really want to focus on talking a lot about what things feel like right now, because everything kind of sucks. Okay, so we're gonna add our vegetables into this pan. I'm actually gonna turn this down a little bit, and I'm gonna make the sauce. We're gonna do 45 grams of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of this gochujang. I've never used this before. I would imagine this is probably incredibly spicy for me. Ooh, it smells nice. That's not what I was expecting. This is more like a chili sauce than I thought it was gonna be. I guess that's what gochujang is. I don't know. It smells a lot more like chilies though. 42 grams of honey. I'm gonna throw these vegetables into the pan. This is the white part of a bunch of green onions and a bag of broccolini and 3 like medium-sized carrots that I shredded into, I guess not shredded, but used a vegetable peeler to make into ribbons. So I'm gonna mix this up a little. So now everything is like covered in the oil and spices that were in the pan, and that's just gonna cook for a little bit. But we are measuring out our sauce. We need 3 tablespoons or 45 grams of this oyster sauce, which I think is actually made with oysters, which sounds kind of gross, but we're gonna use it. And then you just wanna whisk all of this together. And then we're gonna do 120 grams of hot water. So we're gonna use the water out of our noodles that has the starch from the noodles in it. So you're gonna wanna mix your noodles up a little bit to agitate the noodles and get some of the starch to release into the water. That's my timer. All right, so now this has been searing for 2 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and weigh out my cabbage. We're supposed to do 180 grams, which is 2 cups. Okay, we'll mix this in. And I'm gonna actually throw a lid on top of this to let these vegetables steam a bit. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get my water out. That's 120. Now the veggies are starting to get soft. Now we're gonna add the beef back to the pan. So I ended up letting the noodles sit for about 20 minutes and they're finally done. So now I am trying to heat this back up. And then I'm gonna add my drained noodles and the sauce and mix it all up. And then we'll pour the sauce in. I'm using a few things I've never used before. I've never cooked with broccolini before, so I don't know what that's gonna be like. I've never used these noodles before, so hopefully they're not weird. I've never used gochujang before. It smells weird, so we'll see if we like that. I don't know. This might be very odd, but I'm hoping that it's gonna be good. I'm just not the most adventurous eater, so I'm a little worried. But we'll see. So we're gonna add in our onion tops and a good squirt of garlic. I really want to try a bite of this. Oh, this is really good. Oh, I like this a lot. Next, I'm going to put it in the meal prep containers. The recipe is supposed to make 5 servings, but I am making it into 6 servings because it's like 600 calories if you only do 5. And his portions are huge anyway, so I'm doing 6 and it's about 500 calories instead. All right, so I'm gonna do my best to weigh these out so that they're even. The kitchen was clean. I've destroyed it. So here is the final product. We have 6 servings of the crispy beef chili noodles from the Meal Prep Manual by Josh Cordes. And I tasted it and it is really good. So the book is called More Than a Body, and it's by Lindsay and Lexi Kite. They are both doctors and they're identical twins. And the book is about having positive body image and how to get that, I guess. It says that positive body image isn't believing your body looks good. It is knowing your body is good, regardless of how it looks. And that is something that I struggle with a lot. One of the reasons that I am so afraid to go out and do things anymore is because of how I think I look, and I'm embarrassed, and it is difficult for me to let go of that embarrassment enough to even leave my house sometimes. So I have stayed in more and more to the point where I barely go anywhere anymore. And I know that I kind of sound crazy. I'm totally aware that this is not a normal feeling and that most people probably don't feel this way. It's a little embarrassing to talk about, but it is literally what's going on with me. So that's what I thought I'd share. I am struggling a little bit with it, and I have been for a long time. And that's partially why I went to therapy, why I started going to therapy again. I think that maybe this book will help a little bit. At least it'll probably give me some good insights as to what is going on and maybe how to fix it. I feel very bad about the way that I look. I equate, I suppose, my value as a person with how I look. And because I am unhappy with the way that I look, I think I feel like I'm less worthy of existing in some way than other people. People who have poor body image and who have poor self-esteem don't just get fixed by losing weight. That's not enough. I'm sure it's going to help. I'm sure that I'll feel better in a lot of ways because of it, and probably it'll help in the way that I feel mentally, but it's not going to fix the issues that I have. I feel like the fact that I'm overweight is more of a symptom of the issues versus the cause of the issues. Obviously, becoming healthier, losing weight, getting fitter, being able to do more things, being able to go outside more, all of these things are going to help me feel better physically, and I imagine in some ways mentally as well. So that's why I'm doing this. That's one of the main reasons I think I'm doing this at this point. Of course, there's all the like vanity reasons of losing weight. Like I would prefer to not be overweight because I would like the way I look much more when I'm thinner. But there's also all of the health benefits as well. Being overweight messes with your anxiety and it can cause depression, and I have both. So I'm sure that losing weight will help with all of these things. But I know that it's not the only thing that I need in order to fix the way that I feel. And so that's why I chose to read this book. I am a long-winded person, so that's my explanation of why I've chosen to read this book and why I'm in therapy and why I want to lose weight in the first place. I just heated up my dinner. This is the chili beef noodles from Josh Cordes. I made this a little bit earlier, so I had to heat it up in the microwave, but this is how I usually eat my dinner, so it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna try a bite of this. It's really hot, that's why I'm holding it in the towel. This is really good. And I'm on my second water. So I'm gonna go finish these and I will see you guys in a little bit. All right, so now I get to eat the last bit of food for the day, and it is going to be this peanut butter chocolate crunch yasso. These are a little bit more calories than the others. They are still 5 grams of protein though, so that's nice. They're a bit smaller, I think, really, but they are really, really good. I've had this one before, so I already know. They're delicious. It's like I was gonna say it's like a peanut butter cup, but it's not really. I think it kind of tastes more like a Butterfinger than a peanut butter cup. But these are really good. I'm gonna finish eating this, and if I end up having any broth or anything, I will let you know, but I might not tonight. So it is the morning of day 2, and I have successfully completed my first day of the 75 soft. I was very, very tired by the end of the day. I think I slept pretty good. I got about 8.5 hours, so that's way more than normal. I've been getting about 6 to 7 hours of sleep a night, and for me, that's just not enough. I am always tired and I get cranky like a little baby when I'm tired, so it's just better for me to get more sleep. 8.5 hours is really good, and I am excited to see what happens after these 75 days. I hope that I see a big change in how I feel. I'm sure that I'm going to see at least some change in how I look, and definitely a change in my weight. I know that everything I'm doing is going to work. So for my final calorie and macro count for the day, I ate a total of 1,672 calories. I decided just to leave that last little bit there alone because I figure I probably messed up somewhere where I was measuring or weighing things out. So I'm just gonna give myself a little bit of a buffer. But I was able to get 139 grams of protein in yesterday. So I think I'm gonna hit that 100-gram goal pretty easily. And then I also got 56 grams of fat and 165 grams of carbs. So I would say all in all, my first day was a success. I hit the food goals that I had, my water goal, I read my pages, I did my journal. I also left my phone out in the living room overnight and was able to get 8.5 hours of sleep, which is pretty sad that the only reason that I don't get enough sleep is literally because I'm on my phone. So that's obviously a habit that I'm gonna have to change. Maybe over these 75 days it will. So I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you very much. And if you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe. It really helps out my channel. And I will see you next week. See ya.